However, what she said next nearly made me drop my jaw to the floor. I couldn't believe how dumb it sounded.
If Chuck is willing to marry you, then he'd surely be interested in one of us. After all, we are way prettier than you and he from a wealthy family.
I'm sorry, what? I don't think I heard you correctly.
You've always been difficult. But your sisters, your beautiful sisters, are still unmarried. If Chuck sees Emily in the right setting, he'll realize he's making a mistake with you and choose her instead. It would be best for the family for her to marry him instead of you.
So it's okay for her to marry an Asian man, but not me?
We thought that maybe you would reconsider marrying him if we disapproved because of his race, but we don't care about the color of his skin. We only care that he is wealthy, and it's unfair that you should get married when your much more attractive sisters are still single. They deserve a rich husband like him. You don't.
I stared at them, my mind blank with disbelief. They genuinely thought Chuck, my fiance, would just swap me out for a better model. I exhaled slowly. Suddenly, an evil idea popped into my head, and I had to suppress a devilish smile from appearing on my face as it dawned on me what I could pull off. They say family is supposed to love you unconditionally, but mine never did. From the moment I was born, I was nothing more than an inconvenience to my parents. My sisters, Emily and Sarah, were their perfect little princesses, showered with love, praise, and every opportunity imaginable. Me? I was the unwanted extra, the one they barely tolerated. Hi, my name is Lola, and this is the story of how I finally got my revenge on my family that viewed me as just a spare child. For starters, even at a young age, my parents told me that I was an accident. They had only ever wanted 2 children, and I was just an unwanted mistake.
Oh, Emily and Sarah, you two are such wonderful little angels. You make us so incredibly proud.
And what about me, Mama? Don't I make you proud?
You? Why would we be proud of an ugly little runt like you? No, Lola, we really have no expectations for you. Just don't get in the way and do your best to always make sure your sisters feel special.
But I'm special too. I'm really smart. I get good grades in school.
Oh, shut up! No one cares about how you do in school. The reality is that you are ugly and no one will ever want to marry you. So of course you have to be smart. Sadly though, no one will ever hire you for a job that pays well. But you can always go and beg on the street. Someone as homely as you should get a lot of sympathy from people.
The cruelty was the point. They wanted me to feel inferior to my sisters. Growing up in that house made it hard to have a strong self-esteem. No matter what I achieved, they made a point of constantly pushing me down. My parents made no effort to hide it. But there were certain moments that cemented just how little I mattered to them. When I was 10, my parents threw a massive birthday party. Not for me, of course, but for Emily. They rented out an entire venue, had a professional magician, a DJ, and even a catered dinner. I spent hours helping set up, foolishly thinking that maybe, just maybe, my birthday, which was only 3 days later, would get some recognition too. When my birthday came, my parents handed me a store-bought cupcake with a single candle.
Make a wish.
Is that all? Don't I get a party like Sarah?
We're tired, Lola. Be grateful you got anything at all. If they weren't giving away the day-old baked goods, then you wouldn't have gotten anything actually.
That is so typical of her. She is never thankful for anything.
That was the moment I realized I was never going to matter to them. By the time I reached high school, I had stopped expecting kindness. When a boy I had a crush on for years finally asked me to the winter formal, I was ecstatic. I saved up for my own dress. Nothing extravagant, but it made me feel beautiful. The night of the dance, just as I was about to leave, my mother stopped me. She looked at me in my dress with a sneer on her face.
I don't know where you are going, but Sarah needs the car.
But I have a date. This is really important for me.
Guess you should have planned better.
Sarah's plans are more important, Lola.
Fine, I'll just take a cab then.
No. You will stay home and watch the house. We don't want to leave it empty all night.
But what about all of you?
Well, we're bored, and since Sarah is going out, we figured maybe we would go see a movie or maybe just go out for coffee. We're not sure yet, but we'll think of something.
I watched in helpless anger as Sarah drove away, followed by the rest of my family in the other car, leaving me standing in the living room in my dress, feeling like the biggest fool in the world. That was the first time I truly hated them. That night had been incredibly important for me, and they couldn't care less. In fact, they ruined my plans without even thinking about it at all. They didn't even view me as a person. As soon as I was old enough, I left and never looked back. I moved as far away as I could, and I built a life for myself, made real friends, and finally found happiness away from them. Just being away from them did wonders to my self-esteem and mental state. I found myself smiling more and feeling more alive than I had in many years. Then I met Chuck. Chuck was different. He was kind, funny, and respected me in ways I had never experienced before. He made me feel like I was someone worth loving. When he proposed, I said yes without hesitation. For the first time in my life, I was happy. Then my family came crawling back. I hadn't heard from them in years when my mother suddenly called. Confused, I answered, thinking that maybe something horrific had happened. I mean, I couldn't imagine a reason as to why they would ever bother me again. Hey there. What do you want?
Is that really the way you should speak to your mother? Listen, we heard you're getting married to a wealthy Asian guy.
Yes, I am, actually. So,
We need to talk. Come home.
against my better judgment, I went. My parents sat in their pristine, cold living room, Emily and Sarah perched beside them. My father cleared his throat.
We don't approve.
I laughed. Actually laughed. What on earth made them think that I cared what they did and didn't approve of? You don't approve? Since when do you care what I do with my life?
Lola, let's be reasonable. You're making a mistake, okay?
Okay? Let's pretend that I care what you think for a second. How exactly am I making a mistake?
Well, isn't it obvious? Do you really want to marry someone like him?
Like him?
Yes. Can you imagine how your children will look like? Do you really think marrying someone Asian is a good idea?
You think it's a bad idea because Chuck is Asian? Have you lost what few brain cells that you people collectively had? They exchanged nervous glances. It was clear that there was more going on than what they were saying.
It's not just that.
Oh, do tell. Emily, ever the smug, golden child, sneered at me. She looked me up and down, clearly judging me, although the joke was on her. There was probably a time when it would have bothered me and I would have withered at such a glance. But now I had confidence in myself and I saw it for the petty and pathetic attempt of weak person to attack me. However, what she said next nearly made me drop my jaw to the floor. I couldn't believe how dumb it sounded.
If Chuck is willing to marry you, then he'd surely be interested in one of us. After all, we are way prettier than you and he from a wealthy family.
I'm sorry, what? I don't think I heard you correctly.
You've always been difficult. But your sisters, your beautiful sisters, are still unmarried. If Chuck sees Emily in the right setting, he'll realize he's making a mistake with you and choose her instead. It would be best for the family for her to marry him instead of you.
So it's okay for her to marry an Asian man, but not me.
We thought that maybe you would reconsider marrying him if we disapproved because of his race, but we don't care about the color of his skin. We only care that he is wealthy, and it's unfair that you should get married when your much more attractive sisters are still single. They deserve a rich husband like him. You don't.
I stared at them, my mind blank with disbelief. They genuinely thought Chuck, my fiance, would just swap me out for a better model. I exhaled slowly. Suddenly, an evil idea popped into my head, and I had to suppress a devilish smile from appearing on my face as it dawned on me what I could pull off. Okay,
You agree with us?
yes. You're right. Let's do this your way. I don't know what I was thinking.
Excellent. Well, let's plan a wedding then.
That night, Chuck and I sat in our apartment, sipping wine as I explained my plan. He knew what my family had put me through growing up, so as soon as I explained it to him, he was on board.
You want me to fake an engagement to Emily?
Yes. Tell them you'll consider marrying her, but only if they throw the most extravagant wedding party possible. Hundreds of guests, an insane budget.
And then?
And then, my love, we humiliate them beyond repair. Emily practically threw herself at Chuck the moment he announced he was interested.
I just need to make sure everything is perfect. I don't want to rush into anything. And it's tradition for my people to not even kiss before the wedding. So don't get any funny ideas. That way our passions will be even more unbridled the night of our wedding.
My parents and sisters, thinking they had won, set about planning a wedding reception so lavish it made royal weddings look dull. They invited nearly 1,000 people, racking up hundreds of thousands of dollars in expenses for flowers, table arrangements, bands, DJs, and a meal that could feed 10,000 people. Then, the night before the ceremony, as Emily prepared to become Mrs. Chuck, the real event took place. Chuck and I made a video of the two of us exposing that it had all been a ruse and that Chuck would never marry Emily. We then passed off the video to someone who would attend the ceremony and have the video played just as people began to get nervous that Chuck wasn't there. At the height of the ceremony, the guests gathered in the church. Then a projector screen was rolled out and the man we had hired to play the video did so. The screen came to life. Chuck and I sat side by side on the screen, smiling. Hello, everyone. I just wanted to take a moment to personally thank my loving family for everything they've ever done for me, which is pretty much nothing at all. You are truly the worst family that ever lived. We both wanted to let you know how horrible we think you are.
And we wanted to let you all know that I would never, under any circumstances, marry someone as hideous as Emily. I mean, really, it was a hilarious idea, thinking I would trade one daughter for another. But it was doomed from the start. I love Lola, and only Lola.
And as for my dear family, I just want to say, enjoy the debt, because you will never see a dime of Chuck's money. I really hope the meal is worth it. The room exploded into chaos. Emily screamed, my mother fainted, and my father turned an unnatural shade of purple. The video ended with Chuck and me waving. We're off to the Caribbean. Have fun cleaning up this mess. Chuck and I eloped and got married at a private ceremony on a beautiful beach in the Caribbean. We then spent a whole month down there as a honeymoon and as a way to treat ourselves for pulling the wool over the eyes of my family. When we returned home, we blocked every single one of my family members, although it didn't take them long to find ways of still reaching us. Meanwhile, the wedding ceremony disaster had gone viral. People at the wedding had recorded our video and the ceremony and posted them to social media sites, and people found them hilarious. Clips of the video spread like wildfire, and soon my family became infamous. Emily, the ugliest woman alive, was ridiculed mercilessly. People on social media obliterated my parents for trying to buy their daughter's fiance. The shame was unbearable. In the end, they were forced to move to another country and change their names. They had racked up a lot of debt from the huge wedding they had organized. Every now and then they try to contact me. I always pick up, just to hear them beg. I would be lying if I said that their pathetic pleas and accusations didn't bring a smile to my face. And every time they blame me for what happened to them, I always say that I would do it all again without a single ounce of regret. And I hang up, then go about my day with my amazing husband and carefree life. Rumors have it that, due to their rushed escape and the debt they owed, they can't return and don't have much money. As a result, they all ended up taking menial jobs. I hear Emily is a cleaner at a zoo, while my parents and Sarah work at a warehouse under a ruthless boss who overworks them. Thanks for watching.